Let's just get this all set up. And there we go, I think. Let's just double check. Yeah, that's better. Good morning, I'm Spike. Welcome to my Twitch channel or my YouTube if you're seeing this video on YouTube. Here we are doing yet another Japanese language self-taught lesson here in Rosetta Stone 3. Here I am documenting my progress, and then hopefully those who are watching this either live or watching this on playback on YouTube, hopefully you are, excuse me, I'll just maneuver the camera into that position. Hopefully you are getting something from watching my progress in learning Japanese. Now we left off yesterday after doing the 2 reading lessons. We left off getting into this repetition of the first lesson of reading from the core lessons, and we learned some new kanji yesterday in the reading, which led to me finishing off with this sheet, which, let's have a look here, it's the Japanese kanji to English sounds list. So as you can see, my writing in kanji is not brilliant, but then nor is my English either. It's quite scrappy. But as you can see, I've turned around and written myself out on a piece of paper the English sounds, translated sounds, that this program Rosetta Stone chucks out. And I've notated what symbols I see to which sounds I've come across. Now, I'll show you this again. We've only got up to here, where this asterisk is, where we learned nu yesterday, which was this symbol, as in inu for dog. So I'm hoping that when we go into the writing today, that it'll pick back up off where we left yesterday with these new sounds, and it will hopefully go a little bit easy on us, so that we can get used to and digest some of the stuff that I've written down and some of the stuff that was covered yesterday. So without further ado, I suppose, let's begin. If everyone's ready, this is 5-10 minutes later than usual. I've got myself my coffee. So, without further ado, let's begin. See what writing is going to give us. Do the classic microphone setup. Unos, dos, tres, gatos, cans. Hey. So let's see what it's going to give us.
Neko, ne,
Ne,
ne, ko,
ko,
ko, neko,
neko, neko, neko, neko, neko, neko. Doesn't like this. Neko.
neko,
Wow. So even when you're turning around and stating neko, it still does not seem to like my pronunciation or my accent in certain situations. Singularly, fine. Joined together, not so much. So let's restart this slide. Look at that. Terrible.
neko, ne,
Ne,
ne, ko,
ko,
ko, neko,
neko, neko.
neko,
Why? This is a little bit infuriating. I am literally repeating what she is saying, and it's still chucking it out as being incorrect. That's not good. Even though it's now stating that I got it correct. Well, it's not marked me down on that first and the only mistakes that I can make. So I'm going to move to slide 2, but if that's going to be what this is, then writing and the writing repetition from lesson 1 is all we're going to get done today in this stream. because I'm not going to move on if I'm going to we're not going to get to move on if I'm going to have to repeat each of these slides 2 or 3 times just to get the full marks. Now, that's good, because then that means that it's, again, programming in that I'm going to be getting the pronunciation correct and all the rest of it. But it is infuriating that I'm saying and repeating what we've said in the singular, and then joining the two together, it's still saying, nope, you got that wrong. Nope, you've got that wrong. Nope, you've got that wrong. Nope, you've got that wrong. And clearly, I'm not getting it wrong. As you can probably hear, I'm repeating what is coming out of the voice over from the lady, and then also the guys that are doing the voices in these Japanese lessons. So let's move to slide 2.
ね、
Ne,
ね、こ、
ko,
こ、
neko,
本、ほ、
ho,
ほ、ん、
n,
ん、本、
hon.
本、
See, that one's fine. There must be something about me saying neko that isn't quite correct. And I have a feeling it's the soft o sound and that's truncated. Being English, our O's and O's are a little bit softer, and they're as rounded, but they're not as truncated. They're not as shortened, which I'm guessing this is picking up. So there it is. Let's
本、
hon,
ほ、ん、
n,
本、
hon. Slide 4.
ほ、
Hot,
ほ、ん、
n.
ん、
Then we're doing these two. Here's the if I remember correctly, going back to my sheet. Hot is, it's close to, oh no, it's wa. It's wa the which is ever so slightly different. So let's move on to slide 5.
ん、
N,
ん、ね、
ne,
ね、ほ、
ho,
ほ、こ、
ko.
こ、
I mean, that was relatively easy. Of course, we're going to select the correct ones with what was being audibly said. But again, it is the writing exercise, so we've got to click in some of these things after getting the symbols in audio. Now, that's taken 4 slides to get to the 5th one, that's the repeat. I wonder if 6, 7, 8, and 9 are going to be the same with a repeat at 10, and then 11 and 12 might be like the first lesson, where we just get the picture and we've got to click in each individual symbol. Let's find out what's 6. Here we go. Yes, it's the typing, the bit that I like. So this we know is ko.
こ、
This we know is ne.
ね、
This we know is ho.
ほ、
And then of course we know this is n.
ん、
Beautiful. So I think my assumptions are going to be correct. It's going to take 4 slides for us to get to a click in job, and then 6 unless it's now just going to go to typing like the first lesson, and then the last 2 are going to be the ones that we click in the full what's it?
犬、い、
I,
い、ぬ、
nu,
ぬ、犬、
inu.
犬、
So perfect for dog, not perfect for cat. And yet neko is, I'm more likely to come across the word neko because I'm a cat person. I like dogs, don't get me wrong, I love dogs. But I am definitely more affiliated and affinous with cats. Probably something to do with being born a Leo.
い、ぬ、
Nu,
ぬ、ぬ、
Oh, well, here we go. So
ぬ、ほ、
hot and
ほ、
eat.
い、い、
Easy stuff. Well, eat,
い、
new,
ぬ、
and hot.
ほ、
Getting good. I feel quite confident on this. I'd assume that here we go. This is gonna be
ほ、
yes. So hot,
ん、
n,
こ、い、
eat,
ぬ、
new, and net.
ね、
Nice. And being able to read has worked and is now being propagated in the writing. So this function of memory recall and being able to now picture the symbols with their sounds, relevant sounds, and then to also be able to type and select the English Romaji characters into the Japanese. That's pretty cool stuff right there. I'm quite enjoying that. Hi, Saint Just Germany. Thank you for joining the stream or messaging in stream. Much appreciated. So yeah, the recognition and the memory recall function of these sounds and symbols, definitely there. Definitely there. So that's slide 11. Into slide 12. This is going to be like the previous, where we're going to be clicking in
猫、
the sounds, or in this case, typing it in. That's not bad.
本、犬、
Inu. Wow, that was relatively easy and simple, right? So we'll just continue into repetition of lesson 1.
男の子、お、
O,
お、と、
to, to,
と、こ、
ko,
こ、の、
no, no,
の、こ、
ko,
こ、男の子、
otoko no ko.
男の子、
Again, maybe the strictness has something to do with it. I'm just going to go to slide 2.
と、
To,
と、お、
o,
お、こ、
ko.
こ、
And before I move on to the other slide, I have a message. How long have I been learning Japanese? Since the beginning of this year, exclusively in Rosetta Stone. If you actually want to see how long I've been learning Japanese, if you'd like to head over to my YouTube channel that is linked on my page, you will find all of the videos that I've done from the start of Core Lesson 1, Unit 1, through to where we are now in Unit 1, Core Lesson 2, and the various modules. You will see this is going to be video 12, I believe, where I've done 2.5, 3 weeks of learning Japanese in this program, and then I've not moved on for each slide until I've got each one correct. I've then moved on to the next slide, and I've broken down each of those modules, doing maybe 1 or 2 in a day, apart from a couple where I've done maybe 2 or 3 in a day. And then I done a Sunday stream where I've then repeated the whole of Core Lesson 1 through to the end, including the review. And then I've started Core Lesson 2. Now, I've done a lot of this with the Romaji Western English characterization on top of the Japanese, as it's shown here. Um, but I do plan on going through the whole of this Unit 1 stuff once I get to the very end and reach the milestone marker at the end of core lesson 4, I believe it is, at the end of those modules. I do plan on repeating the whole thing using just the hiragana and katakana characters option that is in Rosetta Stone, just to consolidate all of the learning that I'll have done thus far in recognizing the English sounds to the Japanese kanji, and to make sure that it's sticking in my head. Now, please bear in mind that this is the N1 entry-level primary school teachings of the Japanese language to a Western audience, and all I'm doing is documenting my progress. But it's something I find fun, something that I'm enjoying doing, and what I have been learning in a casual manner has been sticking. Now, that might be because of my OCD. I learn things relatively quickly. Things tend to stick once I've got the hang of things, started to see patterns emerge and all the rest of it. But yeah, if you want to if you want to see the how long I've actually been learning and how much time I've actually been taking, please head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/xofficina, and you will find in my Japanese self-taught learning playlist all of the videos of me in this, going through all of the modules to learn Japanese thus far. This one will be joining it today after this stream. So yeah, it's been since the start of 2025. I will say though, I have do I have any connection or relationship to Japan, or why did I pick Japanese? Ever since I've been growing up, I've been fascinated by Japan, Japanese culture, their history, some of their social aspects. I've obviously watched anime and manga. I used to collect comics and tokuban and shonen and all the rest of it. So there's always been an ingrained um, affirmation towards the country and its people and its media and its culture. I've just found it fascinating, to be totally honest. Um, and again, the kanji symbols I always found interesting. That it reminds me of having a fascination when I was in primary school to Egyptology and hieroglyphics, or cuneiform, that our species has developed actual language from just being symbols like this, into Romanized, or even Cyrillic symbolization. Um, do I know the concept of ikigai? Do you know that actually sounds familiar? Let me finding a life purpose. Yes, okay. So I have my ikigai. My ikigai is to help others with mental health disorders and neurodivergence through the power of music therapy, which is what I'm currently in further education to do. Um, but I will also say that most of my audience that's been following my Instagram channel, who's been liking and following me, are primarily a Japanese audience. Um, so, I'm hoping that my market to be able to make and create music will be for animes and mangas and cartoons, and for like OSTs in games. Um, so, I've had Ikigai for a little while. It's relatively recent that I found what I feel was my actual life purpose now. But I think that stemmed from me having a daughter who is herself autistic, which probably stems from my own mental health disorders, because some of it's genetic, some of it's social, uh, social learnt stuff. So yes, that again, I've had to look up Ikigai, but it is something that sounded familiar. and rang bells in my head. So, but anyway, let's move on to slide 3.
こ、
Ko. There
こ、
we go.
と、
To.
と、お、
Oh,
お、
lovely stuff. I mean, that was relatively easy. Let's move on. So we've got to,
と、
o,
お、
and ko.
こ、
Let's go to
女の子、
slide
お、
5. O,
お、ん、
n,
ん、な、
na,
な、の、
no, no,
の、こ、
ko.
こ、女の子、
Onna no ko.
女の子、
Okay. Little bit flustered on the no. Probably did that too fast, or I didn't get quite the right o inflection again, with the truncation of the tongue in the roof of the mouth to the back of the throat, as usual. Again, there are some things in pronunciation that I'm still ironing out, obviously. And for an Englishman with my kind of accent, that is a mix between East Anglian Lincolnshire accent and my parents' Southern Thames Estuary accent, seeing as they're from Kent. I have a flatter, more open accent than the locality, but I do have the taint of some of the local cadence in my speech. So again, there are some things that I still need to iron out with regards to that, plus also trying to join certain sounds that the English language may not necessarily have naturally, compared to Japanese. It's a little bit more challenging to learn how some of the fluidity in their language comes across in how they build their words through their alphabetical kanji sounds. So again, it's just training the tongue as well as training the mind, because they're both muscles, right? So practice, practice, practice makes perfect. And that's why I'm going through this with the methodology I have, where I'm not going to move on until I get them all right. And it says that I've got them all right. And even then, sometimes I'm repeating these off stream after having gone back and repeated the slides in the core lesson 1 stuff in my first set of videos for the first week, before the 4-hour 20-minute stream review that went up. The repetition that I did in lesson is what I'm now doing off stream, seeing as this repeats lesson 1's module stuff alongside the lesson 2 stuff. So I was doubling up when I now don't need to double up, but I'll do this for the stream, for the video, and to go up on Twitch and YouTube, and then I'll do this again by myself off stream, as well as work out things like this, where I have my alphabetical sound sheet that I'm working out from this. Now, as I said, I've got to where my asterisk is for new, and the ones that I've done after I've extrapolated from this program in this manner, where we see o, na, na, ko here, right, in these symbols. But I've then gone ahead and found the symbols in other sentences in lesson 1 stuff, and a couple in lesson 2 stuff that have been repeated, where I've then taken the English sound from this kind of layout when it's allowed me to determine what the sounds of those symbols are in that sentence. And then what I'm going to do is, when we encounter this lower portion, this lower 2/3 here, from, where is it? There's the asterisk here next to my finger. But this lot down, I want to tick off and see if what I've written with regards to when they pop up in these lessons, as it gets more complex and we learn more things, to see if I've actually got them right and see if I'm correct in what I've picked up. If I have, then I know that what I'm learning with regards to reading Japanese symbols and then relating to English, the English sounds to learn this language, I know that the relationship and patterns that I'm seeing work, right? Which means that I'm consolidating and confident to be able to take on board this information and to learn. St. Just Germany says, may I share a video about language learning? So long as it's a link to a video you've made, if it's to a product, then I'm sorry, I'm not interested because I'm not going to promote a product. I'm not here to promote spam stuff. I'm here to make connections, social connections, friends, have people follow my channel and subscribe to my stuff to enjoy the content, not to push people's products. That's not what I'm here to do. This is all about enjoyment. This is not about making money or anything like that. By all means, share the link, but if I see it and I go and check it out, there's a good chance that it will get blocked and hidden, and you could potentially end up getting silented for doing so, purely because it's a form of breach of TOS. And also a breach of my ethics and morals on my stream channel. So just be warned, I'm all about having resources to point people into directions and such, but I'm not going to turn around and shill products, especially ones that I've not chosen to do so. So just be warned. It's not a dig. It's not saying no. By all means, share the link so I can go check it out. But if that's what it ends up being, it will be immediately removed. Is all I'm saying. Let's go to slide 6.
ん、
ん、
ん、な、
な、
な、の、
not.
の、
There's a lot of sounds here going on here. Na, not. We got ne, ni. Let's go to slide 7. Not
の、
approach about strategy, how to approach a new language. Then by all means, share away. I will ask, is it a YouTube link? Before we continue, copy and paste the link, the share link, and I'll go check it out and slam it. Yeah, by all means, then share away St. Just Germany, please. That would be fantastic. Who knows if I will say this: if I find it useful, oh yeah, you can't send it on here. Um, hang on a second. Let's pull you up. Where's my? Sorry, I'm just going to go to your Twitch page and have that open, I think. Let's pull that out. Yeah. No, we don't want to pop out. I just want to go to your channel, actually. St. Just Germany, trying to share a link. It's a potential resource that could well be useful. Let's have a look. Well, you're going to get a follow straight away. I will say that. A follow. Oh, you're a Diablo 4 player as well, huh? Fantastic. I'm an old school Diablo 1 and 2 player and Lords of Destruction. I had Diablo 3 for the Xbox and didn't play too much of it. And then they brought out Diablo 4 and I've just fallen off that train. I will um how am I going to get this? Because I don't have links available in my stream. No, I was just testing it. You were just testing what? It's come up as 3 asterisks when if you're going to send a link, you should just send the link. I'm pretty sure I don't have link sending disabled. I shouldn't have. Anyway, just because if I need to chuck a link into chat, then obviously we got a
not,
we've got a problem if I can't share links. No, he was just testing Diablo 4. Oh, you're not a game player then.
na,
That's a shame.
na,
So there's our
not,
not,
n,
and
na,
na. So we got, what have we got here? That's na,
na,
na, not,
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 n,
yeah, how am I going to get that link to show? I could send you a DM. Yeah, please, by all means, send me a DM. I don't know how DMs work on Twitch. I can't say that I've ever had a DM on Twitch, to be totally honest. I wouldn't know how to go about doing such a thing. That that might be an issue. Or maybe, or you could join my Discord. You could join my Discord and get me there. Or no, there you go. Never mind. It comes up on the website. Fantastic. How to acquire any language, not learn it. Polyglot. Nah, you see, as much as I appreciate links like that, I have issues with polyglot stuff on YouTube, as do a lot of other language learners, because they all say the same thing. They all say the same thing, and it isn't necessarily to actually physically learn a language. Now, I appreciate that. I appreciate the link share. I will watch the video off stream. And if I find it valuable, I'll add it to my list. It could potentially end up in resources. But I will say this: polyglots tend to not be polyglots. A lot of people claim that they're polyglots, and they're not. They just learn very simple phrases that aren't actually very in-depth language. They are just those simple phrases, and a lot of the material you see on YouTube of people who do do certain things aren't actually polyglots. They've only learned specific phrases that they can have a conversation with in that language to make themselves look good for content purposes only. They don't actually know how to talk properly in that language. I intend to potentially live in Japan. I'm going to learn this language to its fullest at the best of my ability so I can at least have a proper conversation with no or very little English tourist accent. I want to basically assimilate. Now, polyglot is a very, very rare occurrence in humanity, and it usually involves some form of neurodivergence in that to understand languages to that level, it's almost like acquiring a form of language synesthesia to be able to learn it. And it follows on from, ironically, a much higher form of my condition of OCD, where your memory management and memory recall functions are completely unfiltered and they just do not turn off in your ability to maintain information, understand information and patterns, and then recall information as if it's your first language. A lot of polyglots aren't actually polyglots because they've learnt those phrases for content purposes and are therefore stuck within a box and a framework, which when these videos are edited, they edit out the stuff where they're being questioned things that they don't actually understand because they can't actually respond properly because they haven't actually learned the actual language and its nuances. They've just learnt these phrases. A few come to mind, but there is a hot topic of debate happening on YouTube with regards to some of these hacks and methods to be able to learn a language swift and quick. If you're going to be learning a language swift and quick, your best bet is just a phrasebook and you just rinse and repeat and replicate the phrasebook. But that's not necessarily going to help you when it comes to actually speaking with people because you're not going to understand what they're talking to you because you haven't learnt the language. You only know these phrases. So, for example, in learning the differences between the grammar structure in Japanese at the N1 level, and I want to get to N4, N5 level, right? What I've found so far is that the minutiae in difference between noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, and whether it's singular, plural, proper, or improper makes a massive difference to the context and the response in doing some of these slides. Now, in a phrasebook, you're not going to find those nuances. So if you end up hearing someone talking to you who's actually saying something to you that you would use your phrasebook to respond to, but you don't know that nuance, you're going to hear part of a word that you think you know, but then the ending's going to be different. You're not going to be able to respond quite correctly. You're going to have a misunderstanding. And I'll leave for now. Good luck with your learning, and thanks for the talk. Catch you another time. Thank you, Saint Just Germany. I'm glad you came and watched and found my channel. I hope you like, follow, share, and subscribe this channel and my YouTube. Like I said, I'm not going to knock it. I'm not a massive fan of this polyglot content on YouTube because a lot of it, you have to remember, is polished and edited, and they remove the bits where you see them struggle to make themselves look like polyglots. It's not hard to turn around and learn phrases to make yourself look good. It's hard to learn a language to fluency where you can talk to someone and understand them back and talk the language properly and have a full-on conversation as if it's your first language. We don't necessarily see that in these polished materials. That's all I'm saying. I will watch the video. I will watch the video link that has been sent to me. Don't worry, it's not being knocked. But straight away, that channel is polyglot a lot. That's fine, but that immediately sets off a red flag for me that perhaps that material is going to be like some of the other polyglots that are online, where in some senses they are conning people. There is no shortcut to learning a language to its fullest for you to understand it and to then be able to replicate and talk it yourself, especially if it's not your first language. This is why, for the Western world, most Europeans learn English as a second language from their native language, right? But they don't do it quick. They do it from school all the way through primary, into secondary, into college, and into university. Now, that's a good decade of your life. It doesn't come within a few weeks or a few months. And those that have quick learning, like I do, I'm going to be quick doing this. That doesn't make me a polyglot, and it doesn't mean that I fully understand all the nuances of the language. I'm going to encounter slang that's not going to be in this program, and it's going to take me years. I just have a goal, an achievement that in a couple years' time, hopefully when I'm 40, I will be in Japan, maybe in Tokyo or in the surrounding area, where I'm going to be on holiday with my daughter, and I'm going to be able to talk enough understandable Japanese language to be able to shop and to order things and to meet and greet and not just be English tourist in Japan who's got his phrasebook. I want to be able to actually understand what they're speaking to me because of the nature of the culture of Japan, where I think I would need to be that respectful to be able to be there and speak their language so that they understand me. And, it will soften that gaijin status, that foreigner status, and the slight culture shift where they, although they tolerate tourists, they're not always fond of tourists because of the differences in culture between Western and Eastern peoples, right? Um, so yeah, I digress. We're on slide 9. Let's move on.
の
Where are we at for not? I'm going to cheat a little bit. Just
な
lost my train of thought. Not, na,
お
o.
ん
Where is it?
と
Hot, C with the hat.
こ
And cot double dash. There we go. So yeah, that's my reasoning for wanting to learn this language. That's why I have the methodology that I have to learn it swiftly, and so it sticks swiftly. But I'm going to be doing this throughout the whole language of learning for this, and this is level 1. I've got level 2 and level 3 as well, and this isn't going to finish once I get to the end and get to that milestone. This is just unit 1, lesson 1, and lesson 2 that I've been doing. We've got lesson 3 to go in lesson 4. That's just 4 lessons in one unit. I'm not even sure how many units there are in level 1. You only get to see unit 1, and until you hit that milestone, it doesn't unlock the next level. I also haven't even turned around and looked at the dictionary in this for some of the stuff that I have learned. So I've got a huge task ahead of me, and I intend to also take when I get to a certain point of understanding Japanese and being able to write it, as you can see, my writing of the kanji is not too brilliant, and I've had to sit there and copy what I have found. I'm using the wrong kind of pen and all this sort of stuff. I need to learn the brush strokes as well, because I want to be able to write some Japanese, particularly writing a sentence of what I've learned, so that I can write my own phrases and know what I've written, because then I'll understand it like you do in school, right? But also, like school, I'm going to get to the end of, say, a certain point in level 1, or at the end of level 1, and this disc. I'm then going to order this level version of test, so that I can, actually test myself with a proper Japanese N1, N2, N3, N4, and N5 tier test, so that I know that I'm competent to their educational standard in this language. And these are the steps I think you need to make and achieve or set out to do to learn a language, polyglot or not, or whether you find this easy or not. I think that they're the steps you have to take to be able to then really call yourself a polyglot, not just learn lots and lots of useful phrases that people use in every day for tourism purposes to then farm content and make yourself look good on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. That's all. That's just a personal opinion and viewpoint. But again, the world is a fickle place, and people do try to pull the wool over each other's eyes. My content here on Twitch and on my channel on YouTube is all about being as authentic in reality as possible. Whether it's me doing this, making mistakes, having a laugh and a joke about it, being picked up on it. Also, when it comes to playing and recording music on my guitars. If you watch my guitar covers, they're all one take playthroughs along with the track. You will hear that it's a one take play. There's no editing. There's no editing. There is a little bit of editing. The editing is the fade in and the fade out at the end of the video of both the audio and my ident. That's it. Everything else is as it happened with this webcam and the one that's just above it. That's it. Because I'm all about authenticity on this
男
channel.
の子
Oh, got to type here. Oto, ko, no, ko.
女の子
There we go. On, na, no, ko. There we go. Beautiful. So that's now our writing done. Let's return home. So that's the writing portion done today. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We will do the listening and reading tomorrow. I'm going to group these 4 together tomorrow. That'll be a longer lesson tomorrow. And the reason I'm going to cut this short is we've just gone past 45 minutes, and I want this one to be under an hour. And we've had a little bit of discussion in this video that wasn't necessarily relating to learning the language. Apologies for that break, but I think it's a fair point to make. And as was mentioned by the chat in St. Just Germany, yeah, I hope they do catch me another time. I will check out the Polyglot a Lot video link that they sent me. I don't believe that it'll be a resource that's going to be immensely helpful. I think it's just going to be rinse and repeating the same tropes that most polyglots on YouTube repeat, which is the same as anyone who learns a language or any shill for any, Duolingo or whatever. They're trying to sell you a product, right? They want you to either attend their course, pay for something that they find useful, promote a product, etc. And I'm not all about that, which is why I'm doing this video with this program and documenting my progress. If you happen to be seeing it and using this resource that I've paid for and you're getting it for free, oh well, it's an old enough program that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And if I get struck for it, oh well, it happens. But I'm hoping anyone who does watch it is finding it enjoyable, informative, sees that I'm making progress and that I'm having fun doing so, even though I'm being a bit casual about my approach in how much time I'm spending doing this on stream. But as I've mentioned, I'm doing stuff off stream, yeah, and I'm repeating this as well by myself, and it's sticking, it's staying, and I've been doing this since the start of the year. My interest in all of this goes way back to when I was like, 10, 11 years old, maybe even a little bit younger, like 8 or 9 perhaps. I mean, don't forget, a lot of our consoles and games come from Japan. Growing up, big proponent for me was the Mega Drive and Sonic and, the games that produced. So I was already in touch with that from the age of 4, from 1990, 1991. So it gives you an idea of my age. But yes, from 1991 onwards, I've been interested in Japan as a place, as a culture, and as the things that they produce, and obviously, like, grown up around anime, manga, their comics, cartoons, Tokuban, Shonen, you name it, you know. Um, so I know what my goal is. I know what I'm attempting to achieve, and learning this language is top of the list at the moment, alongside my coursework for the becoming CMA accredited for helping people with mental health with neurodivergencies, and being a music therapist, as well as being a musician to sell, songs and tracks and what have you for various things, animes, mangas, cartoons, OSTs, game tracks, ambient sounds, D&D campaigns. I'm helping one of my friends produce music for that. His novel has got some TV interest, so I'm going to end up being the music director for that. So, I got my hands in a few pies. But as it stands, this is right up there, and it is part of, as Saint Just Germany points out, my ikigai, my life's purpose. So I'm fully invested, and as a result, my full investment is helping me pick this language up with the materials available that I'm affording myself, and you with the video. Um, I'm picking it up relatively quickly at this level, which is helping me understand how the language works, how to construct, or in this case, extrapolate certain bits of information to be able to understand it better. It's going to be a slow process. It's not going to be quick. Any quick fixes out there, they are usually buff. You know, there are methods to learn information swiftly, but it's all about the retention and replication that is the difficult part. It's all well and good learning something fast, but it's no good if you don't remember it to be able to do it, right? Like anyone can read something and article or whatever and remember that information super quick because they've just done it. But are you going to remember that in a day's time? Are you going to remember it in 2 days' time? Is it going to become like Chinese whispers where you then paraphrase it because a week later you've forgotten what it is that you've read or what the content was or the context even? It's all important. So again, the method that I'm currently using right now to go through this and do what this module here, Unit 1, Lesson 2 is doing, which is what I was doing in my videos for the first core lessons, where I was doing it and then repeating it, and that was the video. And then move on to the next one, doing it, repeating it, next video. This one's doing it for me here. It's going to do the same here, and it's going to do the same here, all the way up to this milestone in lesson 5, which I assume then it will unlock unit 2. Oh, look, there's 4 units in this. Language basics to greetings and introductions, then work and school, and then shopping. There's 4 units in level 1 at the moment. Well, I'm going to go through language basics, complete all this in the milestone in English, and then I'm going to repeat the whole thing again, but with the Japanese kanji. Because by this time, by milestone lesson 5 here, I should be able to do this in kanji. I might struggle, but I'm definitely going to give it a bloody damn good go, because by then I should have enough understanding to know and listen and replicate this. And I'll do that before I move on to Unit 2. It's pretty simple. I think it's a pretty good way of learning to get it stuck, and I think that's going to be the most efficient way for me to learn. It may well be the efficient way for those watching to learn as well. Which, again, I'm just doing this one video to document my progress and where I go. Yes, it becomes content. If you're watching it live, you can see it happen live on Twitch straight up. If it's going onto YouTube and you're catching it on YouTube, you have the luxury of pausing the video and scanning back to repeat what I'm doing here and to either not make the mistake I did in the areas I've made mistakes before I've then repeated it before moving on anyway, or you can keep repeating it yourself. Don't get me wrong, I'm not doing any real editing. These are just going straight export from Twitch to YouTube, which is why they don't have timestamps. So I will apologize right now for the fact that there are no timestamps in this. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to go through my own stuff and timestamp every little page and module for people to click through. The whole point of this is that you watch either with me live or you're watching it on YouTube and you can go through this material with me and see if the way that I'm going about things works for you. If it doesn't, sit there and just scan back and repeat it again. If it does, brilliant. You've just got this for nothing. Fantastic. And we share something in common then. Anyway, that's enough babbling from me. That's today's lesson. As I say, we're going to do listening lesson 2, and then it's repetition of lesson 1 tomorrow, and the same with the listening and reading. We'll get those two slammed out the way, so that will be a longer chunk, a longer video there, and we'll leave the speaking ones and the review for Friday. Then Sunday stream will be this all the way through. All the way through. I'm doing another Sunday stream with this all the way through as a review. If anyone who's missed it, we'll review all of this. That'll be long form video number 2. Before moving on to section 3, we're going to do that all the way through these units. All the way through the units. This could take half the year. I'm really not fussed. If it means that I'm going to end up by the end of unit 4 knowing how to speak and read a fair amount of basic Japanese before moving on to level 2, all the better, because that just means I'm getting to my target much quicker and swifter than if I'm just sat there going through like Duolingo cards or other methods that might work for other people. It's whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable with. You do you. You learn how you learn. That's fine. I'm just saying this works for me, and I'm hoping that the way I'm going about things, people can see because it works for me, they give it a go. If you give it a go and you put in the same kind of effort as what I'm doing, then it might work for you. And that's all that matters. I'm just having fun doing it, and I'm just showing people I'm having fun doing it by doing this. Okay, so that's today. That's enough babbling. I'm going to go crack on with some more work. Like I say, I'm going to end up repeating what I've done today off stream, just the once, because I only go round the once, do the once repetition, same as I did in the first sections in here, like I did on video and on stream. And that's it, that's all I do, apart from, at the moment, reading my kanji alphabetical list up to where we got to, new, yeah, but I'm going to learn these and check and double check and see if perhaps they match up to what I'm hoping the kanji and the English sounds for those will be. And if they match, we're in. I'm correctly assimilating this language, which is brilliant. It means that the learning of material for Rosetta Stone and the way that I'm going about things is working for me. I hope it's working for you. I hope you're enjoying the content. As always, we're going to end it there. Like, follow, share, and subscribe this channel, twitch.tv/crunk7up. Head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/xofficina, for the permanent home of this stream video. Well done if you're on YouTube and you've searched this up. It's in a nice playlist. I hope that you check out all of the other videos. Yeah, please like, follow, share, and subscribe for me. It really, really helps. You know, I'm only at, what, 20 followers there or thereabouts at the moment on Twitch, and around 10 or 12 on YouTube. It'd be great if I can get those numbers up. The more people that see this, the better. Again, if this is something that you enjoy, I'm glad that you do. If not, give us a comment. Comment on any of the videos, send us a DM, whatever you like. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your comments, your feedback. I'm here to socialize because I'm relatively reclusive. So any friends I can make, please head over to the Discord channel. The link is on both the YouTube page and the Twitch page. Again, all free to join. I'm doing this just because I enjoy doing it. You know, so I'm here to connect. I'm here to make friends. If you like gaming, then please, by all means, jump into the Discord. Come give us a shout. Give me your suggestions. Give me your tips, your advice. If anyone wants to correct me on the Japanese that I'm doing, by all means, do so. It'd be great to turn around and speak to native speakers, if there are any who watch this out there. If you're English speaking and learning this language, it'd be great to turn around and learn together, because it's always fun to learn with other people rather than just by yourself. So yeah, come link network with me. Like I say, like, follow, share, and subscribe my channels. It'd be great to hear from anyone who sees this stuff. And as always, we'll leave it there. So take care, stay safe, keep sane, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.